joint in the benchwork construction where I need to add the top for the shadow box. And for the frame, I used the same construction as I used on the back of the benchwork, where I used 1x2 and 1x3 lumber to create an L girder. And I used 1x3 lumber for joists, and they're notched to fit the L girders. Since it's a cantilever style design where it has to support its own weight, I added some wedges to give it some additional support in the back, and then some 1x2 pieces on the side to give it something to glue to, and also allow it to be screwed to the L girder in the back. So it's pretty important to get a good joint, good glue joint, and then I had everything clamped to allow it to set up. I'm just finishing up the first 8-foot section. Starting on the second section, where I tie the L girder into the first section using a piece of wood and a clamp to bridge the two pieces. And I used those vertical supports, and I left those vertical supports in place until the glue had a couple days to cure. And I went as fast as I had clamps. So I had to leave the clamps on the wood to let it set up for a while, and then I could pull the clamps and move forward. Here I'm at the end of the second section, and adding the wedge pieces to the joists. And the second section is done. I'm going to give you a little view down the 16 feet of the shadow box top. Bought some 1/8 inch plywood to cover it with, and it's pretty obviously it's pretty warped. And when I was at Home Depot buying the wood, it looked like Salvador Dali's watch over the branch of the tree. This stuff was pretty warped, but that's what I had to work with. I notched it for the light, and here you have it clamped in place and tracing it to cut. I used about a half a bottle of glue and about 150 screws to get the plywood anchored down to the joists, and it sits pretty flat now, and it should be pretty strong. Starting on the lower shelf, and this will be integrated into the modules the way they're supported. And it's the same basic construction as the shadow box top, 1x2, 1x3 L girders. And here I'm at the end of the second section. And starting on the third section, the corner section. And I ran short of 2x2s, and I'm missing a leg on the end, and I had to add that the next day. And it gives you a little idea what it looks like. And the shelving will be used to store things. I could put model boxes down there, or supplies, or whatever I need to use it for. And I got the leg in place on the shelving for the corner. And the shelving framing is finished now. I'll give you an idea how I set this up so I can take this apart in the future if I need to. Where the sections are bolted together. There's the seam and the backdrop where they will pull apart. And that little small L girder there is just a support for the modules. You can see where the pieces are bolted together. And they'll simply unbolt and pull apart.